Welcome to our first web episode of Reality Deer Management. Well, it's the 4th of July weekend and we're finally getting time for ourselves to go out there and do some deer management on our property. It's been severely neglected due to rain, family, sports, etc. So I have some close personal friends with me today. We're going to give my personal property its own evaluation. We're going to go through all the steps to show you what you need to look for in improving your property for this upcoming deer season. We're going to jump on the old golf cart and we're going to see what we can get done today. This is just a complete mess. This is crazy. Okay. Well, here we are at one of my food plots, which is pretty impressive, as you can tell. One of the first things that you want to do when evaluating your property is evaluate the thing that you put a lot of time, pride, and financial resources in, and that's your food plots. And as you can tell, we haven't been here since, it's been a while since we planted this, and we just haven't had the time to get out here and spray. Obviously, as you can tell, we got Canada thistle, we got some other grasses coming in. There is soybean that we planted in here, but these are the things that you need to do. The corn is short enough that you can come in here and spray, so you can get an effective Roundup kill.
So that was your reason to put the corn 6 feet apart so you can put the soybeans in the middle and still get some sunlight.
Yeah, and that's the thing. As a deer manager, we're always trying to do innovative things. And I don't know how innovative this is, but we just tried this. We put the corn planter every other row. We went to the local farmer, asked him, to come out and plant our corn. And when we told him we wanted every other row, he just looked at us cross-eyed, like, okay, So, and then what we did was we took, Eagle Seed soybean and we put in the middle. So that way they can climb, they can go, they can get a lot more sun and what have you. And what's pretty cool about it is that when the soybean gets to that certain point, starts to die off, what we'll do is we'll go in there with some brassica and some winter wheat, and then that will be underneath. The soybean will kind of act like a cover crop, if you will.
So you left the winter wheat until now.
Yeah, we just had to come in here and make a decision when we did our corn and Roundup Ready bean, to use the whole field, because the whole food source was winter wheat. And then we just decided to only plant half of it and use this section here as basically the harvest food plot. So what we did was left the winter wheat. The deer came in here, as you can tell, and just ate all the wheat heads off. And the turkeys were in here as well. But we did take the time in the fall to spray before we planted, so it was a very clean food source. But as you can look in here, there is so much protein in here. There's ragweed, there's Queen Anne's lace, there's some hairy vetch. I can see, just to name a few plants in here, and this is all protein, and you can see that they're in here eating on it, which is a very cool thing. So what we need to do is, that's what we're here today, is to come in here, evaluate what we need to do. And we'd see what kind of weeds that we need to spray, what kind of herbicide we need to use. We'll come in here, we'll kind of maybe mow it, then spray it after it kind of greens up a little bit, and then we might even let a match to it to do a controlled burn, so that way there's no duff and stuff.
What do you spray it with?
Well, we'll probably use some 2,4-D in a Roundup mix, because Roundup doesn't kill everything. So
get your broadleaves.
Yeah, get the broadleaves, and there's some thistle, and thistle just laughs at glyphosate. So what we'll do is that, and like I said, it's good to come out here and take a look at all this stuff. One of the things that we really pride ourselves on this piece of property that we really don't have a hard time with is the cover. That 365-day cover, the stress-free environment that we want on this property. That's what brings those bigger boys in. And switchgrass being one of those cover types for that 365-day program. And this right here, you know, after looking at it, this is a 3-year-old stand of cave and rock switchgrass, and it's thick, and that's what we were going for, you know. So a thick monoculture. We have some that it's got the native vegetation mixed in for protein levels during the growing season. But we, in this strip right here that the deer, you know, like to use, we kind of use it as a funnel. It's doing its job. There's not much weed competition. There is some thistle in here. You know, we'll maybe come in here and do some spot spraying. But other than that, it's exactly what we wanted to do. So this right here, one positive thing, you know, when done correctly at the beginning, you don't have much to do afterwards. So that's one thing that we're excited about. And one thing you really can count on as well is a native vegetation. And this is, I'm looking at this is absolutely perfect. I'm very pleased to how this was turning out. And what people don't realize, especially if you're on a tight budget, native vegetation is the way to go for deer during the growing season. I'm looking in here and this is just nothing but a grocery store. There's ragweed, milkweed, goldenrod, all high protein stuff. And it doesn't cost me a dime nor a lot of time. Once every couple of years, I have to come in here and mow, maybe do some herbicide and do some controlled burning, because in Ohio you can control burn. And I'm looking in here, it's one thing that you need to come out here and evaluate your native vegetation is to see where there is some browse, if they are truly eating it, and I'm seeing tons of it. And I noticed one thing, probably this coming spring, I will come in here and do a controlled burn on it to even promote more growth and more switchgrass and stuff, because there's switchgrass, it offers cover. This is just, I can't be any happier, and I'm glad that we came over here and evaluated it, because it's doing exactly what it needs to be doing on my property to bring in those deer and to hold them. Well, I hope you enjoyed this episode of Reality Deer Management, evaluating your own property. The key thing to take away from this episode is get out there, evaluate what's going on, right or wrong or indifferent. See what's going on with your food plots, see what needs to be done, if you need a herbicide, if you don't need a herbicide. Check out your native vegetation, see if it's working out. Check out your timber, see what needs to be done mineral-wise, water hole-wise. There's a whole slew of things that needs to be addressed. But the big thing, the first step is getting out there and getting it done. What do you think?
Yep.
Enough said. Well, check out next episode of Reality Deer Management. And the big thing is, like my grandpa always used to say, no hurry, no worry, keep moving. And the big thing with Drummelog Wildlife Management, please support the local QDMA branch and the QDMA itself. Take care.
See you next time.
Reality Deer Management was brought to you by Kaufman Realty and Auctions, Merit Seed, Kagera Fishing Lures, Holmes Laboratory.
Dresden, Ohio. Population, very little. Salute.